honestly, it's Bathurst. It could be somebody in 14th. Who knows?
Yep. Well, we need to let you go. The seat we've got for you in commentary isn't quite the same as the Super Cheap V-Dub Golf. You can go to the box and we'll look forward to joining you shortly.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the race.
There he is, Paul Jeffrey, voice of the sport. It's been great to have him, in addition to all the international races, joining us for this round of the series. So cars fire up here, Stubbsy. We have 2 races to consider here. The Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia Series to be decided here this afternoon as well.
And that is exactly the big question mark. Who will win it? Because Bailey Sweeney, it's a 15-point lead. That is nothing, Rusty, as you know well. 90 points on the table, so anything is possible this afternoon.
All right, some of the best drivers in the world. We've got world champions, we've got Australian champions, a raft of manufacturers, more than 20 on the grid, and they showed you last week at Sydney Motorsport Park. This is elbows out, fierce racing. You will absolutely enjoy it.
Australia welcomes the world to Mount Panorama here in Bathurst in race 2 of the Kumho TCR World Tour in conjunction with the Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia Grand Final. Matt Nolte's my name. Paul Jeffrey will join you very, very soon along with Greg Rust. And we are set for another 11-lap journey around here as the Lincoln Co's make their way out onto the course here. It is warm. It's a whisker under 30 degrees outside right now as the cars make their way out for one of 2 races today, but with a twist. It's a reverse top 10 race here today. So if you won yesterday, you're starting from position number 10. So expect some action at the front, expect action from the middle. And either way, the last 3 races we had at Sydney served up more than we could ever expect here in Australia for TCR. This is how it looked yesterday as the lights went out in the afternoon with D'Alberto taking on Santiago Urrutia as they took off from the start here. There was already some panels rubbing on their way down to turn number 1. Nesta Girolami jumped up into second spot very, very quickly as the Lincoln Co disappeared into the distance. Cars 2 and 3 wide, including Ben Barguana and Will Brown on the way up to Griffins for the first time. This was Marching Hua making his way back through the field, but would cop a 5-second time penalty for jumping the start, dropping the Chinese driver down to 15th position at the end, Jordan Cox. And a swag of Australians here trying to move up through the field, including Bailey Sweeney, who's on target to win the series later on this afternoon. This was him and Barguana going side by side on the way down into the DBA chase. Some big moves here. Norby Nicholas coming in hot down the Schaeffler elbow. Michael Afcona would park the Hyundai at the top of the cutting, get the car going again and make his way back into the pits. The race would stay alive, which was good to see, but that's the last we saw of the Hyundai here in race number 1 yesterday. He'll start from position 22 for the second race today. Towards the top of the cutting we saw in dramas, it was a radiator that was damaged on the Burson Auto Parts car. Clementi would come in to change a tyre late in the race and would be not classified. But out in front, the man from Uruguay, Lincoln Co Racing, picking up the first win of the weekend. Santiago Urrutia picking up the victory. And the Honda standing second and third. Nesta Girolami and Tony D'Alberto as Paul Jeffrey makes his way back into the commentary box. Just a whisker under 30 degrees. You're fresh from a hot lap here on Friday. This place just continues to deliver, but we've got a top 10 race ahead of us.
Hey, Knowles. Hello, everybody. Fresh from a hot lap, but also fresh from a piece to camera on pit lane. and a fair jog up to the commentary box, so it's a little bit warm. We see the driver's points for the Kumho TCR World Tour on your screen. Rob Huff, of course, is now the series leader from Jan Elishay. Cyan Racing Lincoln co-driver Jan Elishay, still very much in contention, and just 7 points, Knowles, in arrears. Norbert Mikulis, who will be starting on the front row of the grid. This potentially is a big payday for Norby at BRC Hyundai.
So 2 series battling out here today. There's 1 more round for the World Tour. We've got 2 more races to sort out our series. So you and I will be crunching numbers during the course of the next 25 to 30 minutes here. 11 laps, much warmer than what we had yesterday, and a change of wind direction. Just in the last 20 minutes, we had a headwind going up pit straight. It's now a crosswind. That'll now become a headwind on Conrod Straight.
And this is these are the kind of things now. We're in the territory where the Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia drivers who've been here before, of course, there was the mammoth race to end last season. They've experienced these change in atmospheric conditions before, and importantly, what that means to balance. What that means, they'll know roughly what to expect approaching a section. The Kumho TCR World Tour drivers will be tackling this for the first time. Does it loosen the car up? Are you in a better position over the hill? How that plays in the balance, very interesting changes.
So much to play out over the next 2 races. Here's the Australian side of things. HMO Customer Racing separated by just 15 points now. Bailey Sweeney to Josh Buck, and Aaron Cameron's still in with a chance. He'll start from the front row today. He's third. Tony D'Alberto, the reigning champion, is fourth. Jordan Cox, Lockie Beneath, and Ben Bargwanna in the mix. Will Brown is ninth after he moved up about 3 or 4 positions after he left Sydney last week. Clemente, Zach Suter, Brad Harris, who's had a solid year. Cody Garland not here this weekend. Ian McDougall, and back to Clay Richards and Tim Slade. Greg Rust, who's here in the paddock once again.
Fantastic. We, Matty, have just had a communique from the good team at Kumho Tyres with some information filtering through just in relation to track and air temperature. Now, obviously with that wind picking up a little bit, I think it's taken just a fraction. It's still very warm out there, as you both know. A fraction off the ambient. It's currently 29, on track 40 degrees, but I think it's even perhaps warmer than that. So the field grid up, it's a great sight. More than 20 cars, the best in the world here, and the internationals as well. And I think we've got a couple of onlookers here. How about this, Paul? There you go.
You've seen it all now.
That's fantastic. I think there's got to be that scene. Oh, hello. Getting a little bit spicy there as well.
It's actually Rusty and I if we came back with kangaroos.
It's my turn. No, it's my turn.
Yeah, but it's incredible scenes here at Bathurst. I mean, they're iconic shots, of course, for this part of the world as well. But it's just the mountain, the circuit. We talked so many times about the ribbon of tarmac on which we're racing, but it's just the whole scenic. It's called Mount Panorama for a reason. Yeah. The vista out into the town of Bathurst, the mountains in the background, the beautiful weather, the scenery. It's just I'm sure folks at home are getting really bored of hearing me say this now. I'm bored of saying it, to be honest. It's just such a spectacular place to be. And it happens to have a motor race on as well. So Molly Taylor, I believe, has our grid interviews down on the track.
I sure do. And Rusty, just quickly, you were saying 40 degrees feels hotter. I did see a temperature gauge that said 45, so I think you are on the money. You can just sense the temperature by feel, I think, these days. But Bailey Sweeney, you are leading the championship. A little bit further back in the grid for this race. How hard is it going to be to stay out of trouble? And have you had a moment to sort of think about where you are, what the plan of attack is?
Yeah, well, it's not where we're used to being this year. Like, I think our worst quality was 4th, so 16th has put us in the back foot a fair bit. So hopefully we can move forward a bit, just get in the 10. We don't have to do too much because we have a little bit of a gap, but yeah, we will just try and move forward the best we can. And
big focus for you, but are you enjoying it as well?
Yeah, for sure. I love driving around here, so every time I come here, I've got a smile on my face.
And we've seen the tyres are getting a bit of a workout around the mountain in this temperature. What rubber have you got on now? Are you saving your greens for later, or have you got some good stuff now?
Yeah, we have some greens for the final race, but these are quality tyres, about 5 laps old. So they're still good, but best is for the final race.
Have a good one, Bailey.
Thank you.
Or Norby Nicholas, I think you would like reverse grid racing like we do it here in Australia, right?
Yeah, I mean, reverse grid racing, especially when starting from the front row, is always nice.
Talk us through your approach to turn 1. It's called Hell Corner for a reason.
I will try to have a good start. I mean, yesterday our start was okay. I will have the inside line, but racing has to be fair. So in case we arrive side by side, I will do my best to leave Aaron some space. He always has a very good start. So in case we are side by side, that already means that I will have a good start as well. And then on the run down to turn 2, positioning will be important. I will try to avoid to stay on the outside in turn.
All the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, Tom Oliphant, we've claimed you as our own now in TCR Australia, but really this is pretty new to you as well, being around here in Bathurst.
Yeah, definitely. This is an eye-opening experience. It's my last race on my bucket list to achieve, so I'm really pleased with that. But yeah, it's a big track to learn, let's say that.
Living up to expectation?
Oh, definitely. I was hoping to be a little further forward, but experience is definitely counting for a lot here. So hopefully we'll just improve in every race and we'll keep moving forward.
We'll see what you can do in here. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Aaron Cameron, you have had some incredibly good starts so far this season, and this is a time where it might be handy to have another one, right?
Yeah, no, it sure would.
yeah, it'd be good to have a good start, see how we go, see how we can, yeah, deal with these international guys.
It's pretty much do or die for you in this race in terms of the championship, isn't it? And this is the best place to be. What's your approach in terms of that game and who's around you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we'll try and get a good start and get away, but there's so much more going on than just the Australian Championship. There's the International Championship. We're trying not to get in the way too much, and yeah, I've certainly made some more friends this morning.
Aaron, may you still be in the thick of it. Come our final race this afternoon. Good luck for this one.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Teddy Claret back at the mountain again. How are you enjoying it this time around?
It's always wonderful to be able to drive here, and I enjoy every single lap that I'm doing here.
And it was getting hot out here. You've got a big race ahead. What have you learned from the previous ones you can take into this for your strategy for getting through it?
I will try to get a good start. Then it's quite difficult to overtake over here. But I will focus on myself. I improve my lap time nearly every lap. So no, I'm quite good on the grid. So we will see after T1 where we are.
And the Bargwana boys looking after you?
Yeah, very well. And it's very helpful for us to have them with us. And it's great to be able to do this together.
Good luck. Have a great one.
Thank you very much.
It is fantastic to have Teddy Claret with us for the tour. And boys, I think it was a little flat how Aaron Cameron sounded in that interview there, but he's off pole position. There's a great chance for him here. I know the last couple of weeks haven't necessarily been Peugeot territory, but we remember about those stories of the development of the new car that Gary Rogers Motorsport in this country is working very closely with. So, okay, some of the newer gen machines like that Honda that Tony D'Alberto has and so on have had a very good run in recent time, but we should be excited about what's in the pipeline as far as Peugeot is concerned.
Yep.
I tend to agree on that point as well. And Aaron Cameron's always been strong here, dating back to the first one back in 2021. So he manages to squeeze as much as he can out of that Peugeot, considering it's now about 5 years old.
And we know as well that Cameron is great off the line. He started on the front row of the grid. Norbert Michaelis has got a championship of his own to contend with. Of course, the points, the Kumho TCR World Tour, are invisible to the TCR Australia points. So for Norby, staying out of trouble is going to be the most important aspect of his race. He just doesn't want to get involved. Rob Huff that we're looking at there, he's the leader of the World Tour coming into this one. He's fifth, but importantly, Rusty, right behind teammate Frederick Vervey. So there's potential for the Audi Sport Come To You boys to work together a little bit to further Rob Huff's prospects.
You've got this beautiful array of drivers, young, up-and-coming stars. You've got people like Rob Huff, who are, I mean, he joked about it in a conversation I had with him the other day about being kind of the older statesman. He's won a world championship before, and he is absolutely in the game to maybe do it again in 2023.
So the grid is cleared, and we're just about to set him off on the parade lap, formation lap. Next time by, it is for real here. Race 2 of the Kumho TCR World Tour, and the penultimate race of Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia, with 15 points separates the two Hyundais as they leave the grid on a postcard-like day here at Mount Panorama. They've delivered so much action since they arrived at Sydney Motorsport Park last Friday. And I get the feeling we're going to have two very exciting races, because time we get to race 3, gloves will be off.
Oh, for sure, without any shadow of a doubt. We, as in the World Tour drivers, have started to bed themselves in gently to this circuit. In TCR racing, there's not a lot of track activity, so it's all about getting those laps. And this is our starting grid. Norbert Michaelis is the man on pole position. Aaron Cameron joins him on the front row of the grid. Josh Buchan, himself looking for the Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia title, is in third position. Frederick Vervees will be keeping him company on row number 2. Rob Huff, our World Tour leader, is in 5th place. Ted Bjork, alongside the Swedish driver, will be looking for a big result. Jan Elishay on a charge in 7th position. He's got the rapid Tony D'Alberto for company.
Underscore that rapid, because Nesta Girolami has gone right with him, his stablemate, run out of Wall Racing, those pair of brand new Hondas. Yesterday's winner, of course, the extra prize, if you like, for winning race 1 is that you start this one from 10th. You could not wipe the smile from Santi Arrutia's face yesterday as our race 1 winner here on the mountain. Zach Suter went so close to trying to grab that pole. He'll come out of position 11. Bailey Sweeney, our Australian Championship leader, beside him. Then we go back to Will Brown alongside Jordan Cox. Teddy Claret, who we spoke to on the grid before, and Ma Qinghua, who has a huge amount of support in this country. They've even come to Bathurst, haven't they?
Yeah,
it's been terrific.
Fleet of Australians towards the back of the field, including Brad Harris, Ian McDougall, Lockie Maneve, Tom Oliphant in the Lincoln Co for Ash Seawood's team. Michael Clementi, Mikhail Athkona will start from 22nd on the grid, so keep an eye on him in the 22nd spot. And of course, Ben Bargwanna, engine change overnight. They found a split in that radiator. That's what parked the Burson Auto Parts car late in the race yesterday. So expect him to charge from the rear of the field.
What a week. I mean, he goes from having that pole position at Sydney Motorsport Park, Ben, and then all the drama that unfortunately followed. He's going to Macau. He's doing that. And I think in the back of their mind, the Bargwannas would love the idea of making it to the big final in Portugal. But what's happened this weekend really hurts that process of graduating or getting a ticket to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, Ben Bargwanna cannot buy himself good fortune at this moment in time. Speaking to him in the paddock yesterday, same problem, same lap, same timing that he had last season as well. So hopefully, we always say in motor racing, what goes around comes around. So you have some bad luck, it will pay you back further down the road. Hopefully for the Bargwanna Clan of the Burson Auto Parts Racing team, get this bad luck out of the way now, so we come into the final throws of the Australia Championship and to Macau as well, where good luck is something you need a lot of, and maybe good times will start.
I've just got the sniff of maybe a new reality TV show coming from Macau. The Bargwanna's on tour. Wowee. So they make their way down past the beautiful Ridges Hotel, where our esteemed world caller has been staying. Nice place, nice views.
What a view, what a view. Watching the sun come down over the mountain last night was one of the best moments of my life. Absolutely spectacular.
So, what can Norbert Michaelis do here? Yesterday, he came into the opening race of the weekend on top of the World Tour standings. Things changed around as the race played out. Rob Huff is now the new points leader. You get the sense that Frederik Vervisch is going to assist his teammate here. The ComTU squad have been so good in that regard, and Fred's been happy to play that tail gunner, Matt, to assist his teammate in this title race. This is a really good opportunity for Norby Michaelis, though, for BMC, Hyundai and Squadra Corsa, to perhaps try and wrestle that points lead back. It's super close at the top of the TCR World Tour. He's got to convert here. He was spectacular in the damp conditions at Sydney Motorsport Park, but that style of driving on a day like today at the mountain, that won't give you the yield that you need.
I like that row we just saw as well. Jan Elishay and Tony D'Alberto, the fourth row of the grid for this race. Reverse top 10 race, a little bit different to what you'd see with the Kumho TCR World Tour. It is how the Super Cheap Auto Series runs here in Australia as we wait for the final couple of cars to lock into position. Clementi and Mikhail Athkona back on the last row of this grid. And we are set, boys, 11 laps ahead of us.
Michaelis, so quietly spoken, but once that helmet goes on, he's a fierce competitor. Aaron Cameron, a bright star of Australian motorsport. It's the Aussies versus the world. Race 2 of the Super Cheap Auto TCR Bathurst International. Cameron gets away nicely. Vervisch has made a great jump in the Audi. He's on the outside as they go into one. Our pole sitter slots back into third. Norby Michaelis does not want to put a foot wrong here. This is about points. Bring that Hyundai home. Keep yourself right in the game for the TCR World Tour. They're away cleanly. We're used to seeing elbows out, bit of wheel banging going on in this sport, but it's Aaron Cameron who leads. Vervisch now trying to wrestle it from him as they come up to turn 2. Cameron goes that little bit deeper.
Norbert Michaelis manages to get the Hyundai down the inside as well, so he recovers second position from Frederik Vervisch. He's in third place, just behind him. Take you up, look at Rob Huff at the back of your shot. Huff is still ahead of Jan Elishay. Elishay has Josh Buchan for company as well. Buchan, remember, is one of the drivers looking for the TCR Australia Championship. This has been exactly what Norbert Michaelis needed in his opening few corners.
So Cameron leads across the top of the Valvoline Peugeot as the cars stack up in the mid-pack. Mikhail Athkona has made up 6 positions already from the tail of the field. I was watching him while you guys are watching the front, but it's Cameron across the top of McPhillamy Park as he dances the Peugeot down into Skyline for the first of 11 laps.
Tidy from Josh Buchan. It's about the Aussie race. He said, I've tried to make some friends with the internationals, try to maybe square the ledger with some local drivers. Maybe they can help me. well, his main rival in Bailey Sweeney right now down in 15th place. That's a spot, though. Buchan, I think, has just lost a spot there. That's to Nestor Girolami. Girolami to 7th, Buchan is 8th.
Yeah, good pass there for Nestor Girolami, using a bit of risk.
Drama for Bailey Sweeney. It's slowing. The points leader in the Australian Championship in the I-30N is slowing. What has gone wrong for Bailey Sweeney? Buchan's under siege here at the same moment. Wow, we're looking left and right here. Has he been able to keep that I-30N going? We haven't seen it come through, boys.
That's a massive, massive blow to the aspirations of Bailey Sweeney. We'll find out if he's stationary at the side of the road. But now Zach Suter to the inside. And Josh Buchan has the inside line. Little bit of contact on corner exit. That holds both cars up. Will Brown says thank you very much and finds his way through as well. Big drama. Further contact as well. Suter and Santiago Urrutia side by side. Urrutia has the inside line. He keys the position. And then Josh Buchan goes sideways as well, and now Mikel Azcona is trying to buy into this one.
Sweeney has just come past the comp box a long way back. I think it's gone into limp mode. It's cruising up past pit straight here.
Massive, massive dramas. Mikel Azcona in the heated battle as well there. We saw him slicing his way up through the field. There is Azcona back a shot. All the cars though, Rusty, spread out, trying to find themselves a little bit of clear air. This is massive drama, but not for that man, Bailey Sweeney.
At the same time, his teammate Josh Buchan has been boxed around the years. He's had a moment sliding that Lantra, and boys, he has dropped down to 13th place. I think, in fact, Azcona might even be past him now. It might be 14th. Wow.
And that's not the position you want to be in at Bathurst, is it, as Josh Buchan? When his car's coming left and right, it's so easy to be in somebody else's accident.
Well, Paul, as you know, I mean, you don't wish ill on your competitor, but when Sweeney's having a tough race, you've got to make hay. You've got to make the maximum in points terms. Look at this. He's our points leader in the Australian Championship. He comes from Batemans Bay on the south coast of New South Wales, a few hours drive south of Sydney. This youngster, who they jokingly call the ninja in that squad, leading the points, and this is a huge blow in the penultimate race of the season. Molly?
Really tense scenes down here, as you can imagine, at HMO Customer Racing. He's lost power. They don't know the source of that. He's on his way in to see what they can fix and get him back out there and keep the dream alive for the championship.
Well, that's the key word, isn't it? Keep the dream alive. And it's the same story for Josh Buchan. Meantime, at the front of the field, Cameron now starting to feel the pressure from Norby Mikulis. Vervish is third. Then Bjork, who's ahead of Rob Huff. Then Alashea. Back we go to Mikel Azcona. Now he is 13th from the back of the pack. In fact, make that 12th now, ahead of Teddy Claret. He's closing in on the 10.
That is a sensational start to this race for Mikel Azcona. A few cars have been in strides. He's taken advantage. He's been decisive where he needs to be. And importantly, he is now very much in the heart of this battle. Marching Guar that we see behind, Lucky Manif trying to find his way past. And just behind him, Ben Barguana, another driver from the back of the field, making good inroads. 18th position at this moment in time.
This place never fails to deliver, and it's already doing this on the third lap. Just smashing some numbers, boys, in the background. If it stays the same, and we need to keep Bailey Sweeney out the track, he will still lead the series by 3 points going into the final. But it brings Aaron Cameron in. If he wins, he's only going to be 16 behind.
Wild. That's incredible going into. So Matt just running through there the permutations, heading into what will be the final race of the Australian season. Unbelievable.
And this is exactly, guys, what we wanted coming into these final races. Drama all the way through to the last few laps of this race, of this championship. Norman Nicholas still in second position, but look how he's leaning on that car. He's not satisfied for that second position and the points. He wants to go after Aaron Cameron and try and wrestle away the race lead. Why does he want to do that? Because Frederick Vervish, Ted Bjork and Rob Huff are directly behind him. The more light he can put between himself and them, and ideally even another car, the better it will be.
Mikel Azcona coming through the final, through the Forest Elbow segment of the track. Sweeney's coming to pit lane, so we'll get down to there very, very soon as the cars are on. Conrad straight here for the third time with Cameron, Mikulis, Vervish, Ted Bjork, Rob Huff, and Jan Alashea, your top six. Nestor Girolami from 9th up into 7th position. Will Brown is 8th. And what is going to happen here at HMO Customer Racing? Series hanging in the balance right now.
Molly and Chris Stubbs are in the lane for us, so we'll keep you across that story. Just to what Matt has alluded to there, they've got to get him back in the game. They've got to make sure he finishes this race. So quick work. There's some great people there at HMO Customer Racing. Rob Benson, the head of a very experienced crew. They know this car intimately. So they're going to work there at the moment. We'll get Molly to chat with us in a moment. I think that was his dad in the background, Bailey Sweeney's dad. So we go back to his nearest points rival in Josh Buchan, chasing Tony D'Alberto. It's position 14 at the moment for Buchan. Michael Clementi and Harris, they argue through turn 1. The Aussie still leads the way in front. Here you go. Cameron by 0.3 from Norbert Mikulis. Frederick Vervish has closed things up. So as was the case at Sydney Motorsport Park, those Audis aren't always a rocket ship in qualifying, but boy, they're good race cars.
The problem with the Audi around this track, though, from what I've heard from the drivers, it's fast in all the wrong places. When it's fast, it delivers the lap time, but it doesn't have the advantage in the critical spots that you need to make a quote-unquote easy overtake. There are no easy overtakes at Bathurst, of course, but good work from Frederick Vervish so far, keeping Norbert Mikulis company. Mikulis in his own right, trying to find a way past Aaron Cameron, and Cameron not putting a wheel wrong. I'm seeing no lock brakes, I'm seeing no missed apexes. He's soaking up the pressure so far and doing what he needs to do to keep himself in championship contention as well.
The Valvoline Peugeot, run by Gary Rogers Motorsport. This was a guy who in 2019 had made the big step from karts. He'd come in as a rookie to our championship, and in that first year we really got an idea of the kind of talent he had leading this race at the moment. Let's get an update from the lane. Back to Molly.
It was an intercooler hose just come loose and losing all that boost pressure, obviously, from that. So just a reminder how sometimes the smallest things can have huge consequences in our game.
What he can't afford is a DNF. DNF is 0 points. He needs to get out and just circulate now to the end and preserve that series lead. Challenge on here for the lead. Mikulis goes for it and gets it done at the DBA chase. So the Hyundai gets up ahead of the Valvoline Peugeot. Cameron's not done, like a magnet to the rear bumper of the 105, who parks it in the middle on the way down to Murray's.
Fantastic stuff from Norbert Mikulis there. Maximum commitment, maximum bravery. Takes the position away, but the Hyundai Elantra is now vulnerable. He's the car that's punching and hole in the air for Aaron Cameron to try to use the slipstream. Just behind, though, while they squabble, Frederick Vervish in the Kumho Audi Sport machine is very much on the tail of the Australian driver. Can Vervish use the opportunity while Aaron Cameron is discombobulated slightly from the overtake? Can Vervish use that opportunity to leverage a way past?
This is positive stuff for BMC, Hyundai and Squadra Corsa. Gabriele Tarquini, the team boss, the very experienced touring car racer, said to us earlier today they were doing a bit of head scratching after that unfortunate issue for Mikkel Athkona yesterday. They have clearly found a little something that is in the window here for Norbert Mikulis to make the most of that pole position. Replay of the pass at the chase. He gets by Aaron Cameron back into the lead.
And that was a beautiful overtake as well, because not only he made the move, he was the last of the late breakers, he kept the car in the momentum and the racing line as well, gave Aaron Cameron no open doors in which to walk through. And now it's going to be fascinating how quick in clean air can Norby go, and how can Aaron Cameron stick with him or defend from the chasing pack behind.
Ted Bjork looks energised too, doesn't he? In fourth place at the moment. Going with Frederick Vervish here. Is he a chance of maybe getting a top three, maybe coming to victory lane here? Let's get more news from the lane. Chris?
Just an update on Josh Buchan's situation, of course, in the championship battle that he's involved in. He's in 14th position at the moment, but after the contact from Zach Suter, they believe the car's not handling great. There's toe in, toe out either way. So it's an issue, but they don't think it's anything more significant than that at this point.
Okay, battle it to home, bring it to home, bring those points in. He needs help, Josh Buchan, doesn't he? But boy, depending upon what happens here for Aaron Cameron, as Frederick Vervish makes the move now. This is for second place, again at the chase. Cameron to keep his bid alive in the championship. Matt does not want to relinquish too many more positions. We've got a fascinating proposition going into the last race of the Aussie season.
He's got 4 cars between himself and the next Australian car, which is Will Brown, 8th on the circuit at the moment. So Man, this is the number crunching. Man, I've got a headache already. We've not even halfway home in this race. So Nicholas, Vervish, Cameron, Ted Bjork, Rob Huff, and Jan Ellershae are your top 6. Girolami, Will Brown, and a Rutin. No, Will Brown is slowing. Will Brown is now slowing on pit straight. Could not happen at a worse spot. And the Liqui Moly KMC wheels Audi. I think he's going to park this on the left side.
Got a bit of driving there from Will to get the car well and truly out of harm's way for the field that are passing. But this is massive for Will Brown, a real disappointing result. He's at the worst point of the circuit as well in which to have a problem right at the very start of the lap. That is the team shaking their head. They know that that's an opportunity squandered sadly for the Liqui Moly Melbourne Performance Centre machine. Can Will bring the car all the way around the circuit though and back to pit lane? Can Zach Suter hold off Jordan Koch and Tony D'Alberto? Everywhere you look, something is happening. Matt Nolte alongside me is the most optimistic man in the world doing maths, because that will be thrown away the second you've done the calculation. Such is the frenetic nature of this race.
Did you hear that thud? That was my laptop being thrown behind us here in the commentary box. With that drama for Brown, that puts Buchan up another spot and puts him into the series lead with that move for now.
Matt Nolte, Ducks of Mathematics in South Australia.
I left school in year 10. Jeez.
You keep crushing those numbers. You're doing a great job. Back to this battle here. So this is Zach Suter, a privateer, an Aussie whose dad was a very experienced sidecar racer of all things. Raced on the international scene, raced at world level. Zach's gone the four-wheel path. Behind him, Jordan Cox, a huge star, if you like, in the internet world, what he's done on YouTube in front-wheel drive race cars. And here's Tony D in that brand new Honda Civic Type R. Makes the move on Jordan Cox going down Conrod Straight. It's been a weapon, that new Honda, particularly in a straight line.
Yeah, we said this in race one, and I think it bears repeating as well for this second race. The way that Honda Wall Racing have picked up this new car and they've run with it almost immediately, so competitive in the hands of TD, in the hands of Bebel Girolami. It's massively impressive to me, and I think actually Chris Stubbs has news down on pit road.
Yeah, unfortunately, the nightmare has returned for the team here at Liqui Moly in the Outer Sport Customer Racing entry for Will Brown. A drive shaft problem once again.
Now, our season started that way, so you can see what they diagnose as the exact cause for that. Maybe a brush with the wall has contributed, for example, which you can do here at the mountain. While we were hearing from Chris in the lane there, Bailey Sweeney in the I-30N for HMO Customer Racing has returned to pit lane. This is a huge blow. If they cannot get that car to finish this race, Matt, that will be a donut for him. No good for our series leader with one race left in the Australian title fight.
Needs to get out to be classified. That's going to be the hard task now. He's in the pits as the rest of the field make their way up through the Worth cutting. Zach Suter, a great turnaround for the Tough Lift team. They've had a tough year since the outset. This brand new Audi that arrived in January. D'Alberto's going to go to the outside. That's purely because Suter missed the apex on the way up to Solomon Park. So the Honda #1 goes up another position and puts himself up into 9th. Oh, Jack, there a tyre failure.
Gone. I reckon that left front's gone. Game over for Zach Suter. Now, we don't wish ill, right? But this helps Josh Buchan. He's now up to 12th. With the drama for the other Audi of Will Brown, now this issue for Zach Suter, this helps Josh Buchan. It's more points in his bid for the crown. Up to position 12 now.
The million-dollar question now is, can Zach Suter either get the car back to pit lane or into a safe position to avoid the intervention of a safety car, which is exactly not what we want to see at this stage. Once again, Bailey Sweeney made his pit stop. He's back out onto the track, and Molly Taylor has more for us down on pit lane.
Yeah, guys, the same issue. The hoses come off again, so more cable ties, more hose clamps, and as you say, Nolt's early bit on just trying to do the race against time to get him out there so we can get some points from this session.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Molly. Molly Taylor, Chris Stubbs down on pit lane. Paul Jeffrey, Greg Rust and Matt Nolte up here in the box. We just saw briefly on our stream, guys, Suter still on the racetrack, so he's trying to hobble the car back to pit lane, which will be an opportunity to get a new set of boots on, shake for damage, go back out there and score some points. With 8 laps of 11 in the books, Norbert Michaelis is your race leader from Frederick Vervish. Aaron Cameron in 3rd position, leading the Super Cheap TCR Australia charge. Ted Bjork in 4th. Rob Huff, the current Kumho TCR World Tour leader, in 5th, ahead of his main rival, Jan Elyshay, in 6th.
Fastest lap of the race belongs to Vervish in 2nd with a 2:15.993. Harris comes to the lane in the Honda Civic Type R. We go back to this guy who has done an amazing job to claw his way from the back of the grid after that drama yesterday, which left them head-scratching there at Squadra Corsa. Micallef Kona is now 11th, and Jordan Cox holds down 10th. That would be mighty if he can fight his way back into the top 10. More news from the lane. Chris.
Rusty, thank you. Zach Suter, they believe he may have brushed the wall. That's what they think has caused it. They're hoping that it's not any other issue and an unexplained delamination. They believe he may have touched the wall.
Thanks, Chris. We probably do need to make that point at times too. We've got great partners in Kumho in this series. You can at the mountain if you brush the wall. Big. You can, if you get a little too aggressive at the mountain, have moments like that, brushing the wall, or if you're too hungry on camber and things like that, that can contribute to that style of thing.
Maybe nudge the wall and the edges are worth cutting, because it happened rapidly before Solomon Park. You talked about invisible cars out there. Was that something up the mountain there? Was there?
Yeah, that confused me as well, but I kept quiet for fear of looking silly. I saw a bit of drama, and Zach Suter has made it in pit lane. We just see him crossing the commentary box window. But yeah, absolutely, there's a bit of dirt kicked up there, not quite sure why, but whoever had that moment, it would have been a very impressive moment indeed. Look at this though, Josh Buchan. There, just ahead of him, is Mikael Athkona. Athkona made his way from the back of the grid, but Buchan now looks like he's got more speed underneath him than Mikael Athkona at this stage in the race. So,
Tough Lift Racing entry returns to pit lane. That last shot we saw a moment ago, they're 2 different Hyundai teams. One racing at world level, one our own HMO customer racing team here in Australia. Do they walk from their garage at HMO around the corner to Gabriele Tarquini and say, hey, please, we know Mikael Athkona is on a great run here. Can you help us with Josh Buchan? What do they do?
If they did that, Gabriele Tarquini would look at them and say, speak no English. So, yeah. Absolutely not. There are no gifts. There are no gifts whatsoever. Mikael Athkona, though, in all seriousness, such a good start that he had. Maybe he's taken the best of the lap time out of those tyres, out of that car now. He's starting to come closer to Josh Buchan. Buchan has the pace. He would dearly love to clear Mikael Athkona to give him a shot at Jordan Cox, as Michael Clemente not seen much of him this weekend in the Cupra. He's having a nibble at Marcincoire as well.
And Athkona is 2 seconds a lap slower than the cars around him right now. So I reckon it backs up your point there. He might have just used the best of those tyres. And we're going to see that Kumho back out on the track today as Suter gets pushed back out into the fast lane here at Mount Panorama. Lap 9 of 11. Norby Michaelis leads from Frederick Vervish. Aaron Cameron is leading the Australian side of things in 3rd. Ted Bjork is 4th. Rob Huff and Jan Elyshay in 6th. Nesta Girolami. Santiago Arruti up into 8th spot now. D'Alberto and Cox 9th and 10th.
Briefly as well that we saw that Brad Harris was down in pit lane. He's still there, so Harris having attention to the car at this moment in time. They're not back out in the field as we look. Beautiful drone shots, guys, of the mountain.
We're hearing that Brad Harris is pulled in unwell. He's going to climb out of that car, so a tough weekend for the Harris brothers. Of course, brother Will did make it out for qualifying yesterday with that pre-existing rib injury from earlier in the year. So is the heat starting to play a bit out here, mate?
Absolutely, because the temperature is incredibly high. The wind is quite refreshing, although looking out the commentary box window, just look at how violently the flags are moving. That's picked up since we went green, and that's going to change the balance of these cars. Very much indeed, especially up on the high parts over the mountain.
Great job, as Paul detailed before, by Ben Bargwanna in that Burson Auto Parts entry to get to 15th. You're watching that battle, but just ahead of them, someone we probably haven't sung the praises of is the Purple Sector Racing driver, the privateer from Sydney, Lockie Maneath. in that older generation Audi is behind Teddy Claret. He's in 14th place at the moment, boxing hard in that car. Great work.
Up 6 places, so a reward for effort for that privateer team out of Sydney. They'll park that car up at the end of the season and concentrate on going oval track racing over summertime with young brother Ashton Manif. There's Cameron running back in 3rd position now, leading the Australian side with Alberto in 2nd, Cox in 3rd. From the Australian side of things, Cox is up 4 positions since the lights went out to make their way to Worth cutting in the closing stages. We've got one more of these to go yet.
I wish we had 5. This is absolutely, as it's always been, the entire Australian adventure for the Kumho TCR World Tour has been beyond spectacular. This one hasn't had the smashes, bashes and drama that we saw at Sydney Motorsports Park, but as you said, I think it was Noel at the top of the show, there's never a dull moment at Bathurst, and this has been another really enthralling race. We're looking at Rob Huff at this moment in time. He will see Jan Elichet behind. He'll see the little pink highlights on the wing mirror that denotes the French driver, and Huff is starting to lose a little bit of pace. Elichet is getting closer. The Englishman needs to retain this position to help extend his Kumho TCR World Tour advantage over Elichet, although Noah Mikolas at the front of the field is doing a lot of good work to get himself to the back of the top of the standings.
I think there might be a phone call tomorrow morning to the Mayor of the Bathurst City Council, Jess Jennings. Paul Jeffrey on the line for you. Just wanting a few more races in 2024. Would that be okay?
Absolutely. I need to phone home and say, sorry, not coming back. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Lap 10 of 11 then, Noah Mikolas that we see took the race lead at that part of the racetrack, has never looked back. Aaron Cameron came under a bit of pressure. Frederick Vervish took that position away from him. And is that Bailey Sweeney at the back of the shot, still on racetrack? We see just getting out of the way of traffic.
22nd, according to our timing monitor at the moment. Obviously, with the unfortunate demise of Will Brown, we go back. We start the final lap. Now, Aaron Cameron, Vervish has fallen back into the clutches of Ted Bjork. Bjork's on the outside here as they go into the first turn. They'll drag race those two, and that is for 3rd place in this race. Check this out.
Oh, boys, this is clever. In the fairest way possible, I think Fred is trying to slow Bjork down enough to let Rob get involved in the instant. This is Rob Huff, his clear teammate Frederick Vervish. Not quite enough of an overlap to find a way past Ted Bjork. And Jan Elichet thinks this looks like fun and tries to get involved as well.
What about the teamwork going on here? Cyan Racing Lincoln Co. with 2 players in the mix. Vervish is the ultimate team player here, helping Rob Huff in the title race. This is awesome.
Fantastic bit of drama here in the last lap of the race. The second race of 3 this weekend at the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst International. Currently, Noah Mikolas unaffected by all the dramas, serenely at the front of the field. Aaron Cameron wondering just what's happened over the last few corners in a clear 2nd position. And then this, the fight between Ted Bjork, Rob Huff, Frederick Vervish, Jan Elichet, and just at the back of your shot, Bebel Girolami as well. There's still more drama to eke out of this one before we get the checker.
Ted has loved being down here, as all of the internationals have, but when we caught up with him earlier today, he just kind of reiterated that. So he'll be super pleased if he can finish where he is right now and make it to our victory lane. That's another great story from the international visit here to the mountain. Norby Mikolas, this is going to be good for his TCR World Tour points. He's on course to win this one. He's got an advantage of 3.5 seconds over Aaron Cameron, the Aussie, who started this one from pole position. And on the run home, Ted Bjork has moved himself for Cyan Racing Lincoln Co. into 3rd place.
Down the chase for the last time. Action-packed races. Girolami makes the move now on Elichet. They'll bang door handles, and Elichet is pushed out to the dirt. He'll tuck in behind Girolami. So even on the last sequence of the race, it's still going on in the background. But Norby Mikolas will win race 2 of the Kumho TCR World Tour. And don't you think the Squadra Corsa team like it?
Fantastic stuff down there on pit road. That means the world to this team. Absolutely delighted they are with their Chargers victory. Aaron Cameron and Ted Bjork round out the podium positions. That was a good pass by Bebel Girolami on Jan Elichet through the chase on the final turn. They come through 6th and 7th position. But look at this. Almost as 1-4 cars crosses the line. and Lucky Manif is the man at the front of that little pack.
In Australia, they often say things like, who's the hard charger award going to go to? What about Mikalev Kona from the back of the grid to 10th place? Mighty performance. We'll keep an eye on the numbers for you in terms of our domestic series as well. We need to think about the fact that there is just one race to go in Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia. Josh Buchan has finished 11th. Aaron Cameron has finished 2nd. And the series leader coming in, Bailey Sweeney, fought his way with those intercooler pipe issues, those reoccurring problems for the i30N. He finishes. He's classified a finisher, Matt, in 21st place.
Unofficially, it would put Josh Buchan to the lead by 1 point.
Oh, wow.
1 point. We'll wait for official confirmation on the result to come through. And there's a fastest lap point to be added to the Australian side of things to come with that. But what a race. And one more still to come here this afternoon as part of the Kumho TCR World Tour. Paul Jeffrey's shaking his head next to me. How much more can they serve up today?
This is, honestly, I am accused often of being overly enthusiastic and overly excited about everything. I enjoy everything, but this has just been fantastic. A slow burner of a race, plenty of drama all the way through to the last couple of corners on this circuit as well, and a result that really helps mix up both the Kumho TCR World Tour but also the Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia Championships as well. Just everything that you could possibly wish for wrapped up into a race.
So, confirmation on the screen, Bailey Sweeney will not be classified as a finisher, so it's 0 points.
Oh, no.
And drops him back to 2nd in the championship. It brings Aaron Cameron up to 5 points behind. And he is now 22 away from Josh Buchan. So 3 drivers going into the series finale this afternoon.
I've glanced at the timing monitor. You asked about fastest lap time for the Aussies. I think it might be Tony D'Alberto with a 2:16.03. Quickest lap of the Australian competitors. Here's the confirmation of the race results for you. 2 races down, 2 wins for the internationals. This time, though, Norby Mikulas takes it out for Hyundai from Aaron Cameron, the Aussie, at the wheel of the Peugeot, and Ted Bjork fights his way through the first turn on the final lap to get into the top 3.
And provisionally speaking, that victory for Norby Mikulas will give him the lead of the Kumho TCR World Tour on 365 points. 3 points in arrears will be Rob Huff, with Jan Elishay in 3rd on 350 points. 15 separating our top 3, provisionally, of course, in what has been another incredible race, the middle part of the weekend here at Bathurst, and we've still got one to go.
This World Tour just keeps on getting better. It has seesawed the lead in this points race twice in just 2 races here at Mount Panorama. We've got another nail-biter to come your way with an Aussie crown to be decided, and so much more this afternoon as a part of our live coverage into Victory Lane. They look stressed, they look serious, watching on. After some drama for his teammate yesterday, this is important for the Kumho TCR World Tour. Norby Mikulas provisionally finds himself with that race win back at the top of the points.
That's all I can say.
A shake of the head says 1,000 words, doesn't it?
Fantastic race. Norby Mikulas climbs out, the Squadra Corsa team celebrating, and well they might. They know the importance of winning here at Mount Panorama. It's not fallen on them how special this place is worldwide. And boy, oh boy, does this set us up for a great run for the final race this afternoon to conclude our championship at the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst International. Mikulas the winner, Cameron in 2nd, Ted Bjork in 3rd.
Incredible scenes, means the world to Norby Mikulas. But here is the story of the race. From the green flag, from pole position, Norby Mikulas gets the launch off the line. Aaron Cameron goes to cover the inside, but look at Frederik Vervies around the outside on lightning start from the Belgian driver. That moved him up into an early 2nd position, side by side as we run up the hill. Aaron Cameron is the one that holds the high ground. Norby Mikulas finds the inside line, uses the hunt-to-killer tactics of the Hungarian driver. Further down the running order, several cars fighting for position. Zach Suter in the heat of battle, contact with Josh Buchan. That would cost Buchan later in the race.
Santiago Urrutia making the move here on Zach Suter at Hell Corner. That's maybe where the damage came at Murray's for Josh Buchan while that car was handling evil in the 30 Elantra sedan. They were 4 deep going into the DBA chase. Bailey Sweeney transferred the pit lane on several occasions during this race today. Change for the lead here, which put Mikulas to the front and ultimately to the win.
Aaron Cameron would ultimately finish in second place, but he did lose it very briefly here to a fast-charging come-to-you racer in Frederick Vervish. Another in the Audi stable, which had been the real story at Sydney Motorsport Park with 2 wins. Dramas taking Will Brown out of the race.
Great side-by-side racing here, down into the chase. Cox to the inside line. Tony D'Alberto takes the position away. Looking back at Zach Suter. Again side-by-side. Again D'Alberto using speed, using aggression. But moments later, Zach Suter would be in strife. Not long before he would head down pit lane and into an early bath. A little bit of dust kicked up on the outside of the circuit. There is Zach Suter. Damage on that car. Fresh set of boots. They will be back out on track. But this is the moment. Frederick Vervish from second position, dropping back. Rob Huff tries to pick his way through the battle, and at the front of the field, Norbert Michaelis celebrates alongside the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa team for a well-deserved 3rd win in the Kumho TCR World Tour.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Just amazing. As we look across the top of Mount Panorama here, Chris Stubbs down in victory lane. A happy podium here in race number 2.
That's it. I think anytime you're on the podium at Mount Panorama, that's a pretty happy moment. Ted Bjork, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It feels fantastic to come here and be on the podium. I had high hopes for Sydney, but to deliver here is like even better. You know, even 3rd place, you know, on the podium, you know, step by step, that's how I work.
It was pretty wild too. You had to hold on to it on that last lap.
Yeah, but Aaron did such a, you know, he did a good job. And I saw the lines that he took over the mountains, which I was not driving. So probably I learned something from that, because I was a little bit, you know, using my tires in one way and he did it in another way. So it's great, you know, great to see.
Always learning. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Some fascinating insights there from Ted. That brings us across to Aaron Cameron, second place, but the fastest of our Australians. Aaron, congratulations. That one means a lot.
Yeah, it bloody does. Like, it's just been so hard. Like, this weekend, we were 2.4 seconds off in qualifying and it was looking pretty crap. And yeah, to turn around like that was great. And I screwed up the start. It was all going on, but I just love Team Orders, I tell you. When Fred backed up like that, I was like, you bloody beauty. So no, thanks to the team. They're working really hard to give us a better package and be more competitive. But yeah, it's just bloody awesome to be here.
Not sure if the team has told you yet, Bailey Sweeney wasn't classified in that race with the problems that he had. You are live going into the final one for the title.
Yeah, all right, that's beautiful. I saw he had problems, they told me, and yeah, it's obviously a shame, but it's great for us, and yeah, see what we can do in the last one.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
And that brings us to our victor for the Kumho TCR World Tour, Norbert Michaelis. Congratulations, massive celebrations down here. That one means the world.
Yeah, especially because my start wasn't great, so I was P3, exiting, I think, the first corner, but then I needed to take some risks. So fortunately, everything worked out. Huge congrats to Aaron. He was just amazing on the second sector, just up the hill. But I did my best to keep the slipstream, to keep the gap, and then to go for the overtake. But it's just an amazing feeling to win here, to be honest. Weekend wasn't starting easy, but in the end, it's just fantastic.
Well, that's it. To have the #1 at Mount Panorama is an enormous moment in any driver's career. Championship-wise, you're back in the lead too.
Yeah, I mean, my target was to win here because I won on the Nürburgring Nordschleife, I won in Macau. And then winning in Bathurst, honestly, is something very amazing and special for me. And I'm not looking at the championship standings, very honestly, because we have still 3 races to go. The next race is going to be tough, so it doesn't really matter if it's 5 ahead or 10 behind. Important thing is to stay focused and then to collect the points.
Great job, well done.
Thank you very much.
As Norbert Michaelis said there, he has won pretty much everything there is to win and is delighted to add Bathurst to the trophy cabinet. And these are the points for the Kumho TCR World Tour. Norbert Michaelis is now our new World Tour leader from Rob Huff in second position. Only 3 points separate our top 2. And then a further 12 in arrears. Jan Elishay for Cyan Racing, Lincoln Co. on 350 points. Mikael Azcona, despite a strong recovery drive, has got work to do if he wants to be in the conversation for the overall standings.
That little skirmish at the end between Girolami and Jan Elishay meant that Elishay finished 7th in that race, and I think that's reflected. Elishay coming into this race today was 2nd on the ladder, so these little moments, just these little moments, can make a big impact on the ultimate outcome in 2023. On the domestic scene, this is now how it looks. With the dramas for Bailey Sweeney not being classified a finisher, he loses, he relinquishes his series lead. Josh Buchan finds himself now with one race to go at the top of the TCR drivers' standings here in Australia. Aaron Cameron, judging by those points, is within striking distance as well. Look at him there, 7:43, just 5 now behind Bailey Sweeney. What an exciting afternoon we have to come here with one more race in TCR at the mountain.
Fantastic scenes. Bathurst often throws up the odd surprise or two, a bit of drama, a bit of controversy, a bit of excitement, and once again, it has delivered in 2023 in both domestic and international championship standings. We're just looking at our top 3 cars from up on high. As the teams continue their celebrations, the cars will go into Parc Ferme, preparations will be put together, and then we'll go racing again a little bit later on this afternoon. Whew, time to take a breather, gents.
I think for eagle-eyed viewers too that can see that flatbed tow truck in the pit lane, that is because something's happened to Michael Clementi's car. There you go. So they are getting that Cupra on the flatbed just behind our top 3 finishers. They'll get back to the Ryco, the Carl Cox Motorsport garage, and hopefully get that sorted for the final one of the weekend. After a difficult start for the Hyundai Squadra Corsa team, that is a super job by Norbert Mikulis. He is about to take the top step of the podium. For the celebrations, we take you to our podium MC. Here is Richard Craill.
Welcome to the podium at the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst International. We congratulate the top 3 finishers in race 2 of the Kumho TCR World Tour and Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia Series here at Mount Panorama. In 3rd place for Cyan Racing Lincoln Co. From Sweden, it's Ted Bjork. In 2nd place from Team Valvoline GRM, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Cameron. Representing the winning team, BRC Hyundai and Squadra Corsa, Gabriele Rizzo, the team principal. And your race 2 winner at Mount Panorama for BRC Hyundai and Squadra Corsa, all the way from Hungary, Norby Mikulis. Ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate Norby's victory, let's pause for the national anthem of Hungary. Ladies and gentlemen, to present the 3rd place trophy, we welcome to the podium Peter Coyne, the General Manager Trade and Services from Super Cheap Auto. The 2nd place trophy will be presented by international music legend Carl Cox. The winning team's trophy will be presented by Julia Wilcox, Head of Marketing from Supercheap Auto. And finally, the winning driver's trophy to be presented by Steve Lewis, the General Manager of Merchandise at Supercheap Auto. Congratulations, drivers. It's time to make it super.
And that is our top 3 podium finishers celebrating to the applause of the audience down below. A hard day of racing for all of the Kumho TCR World Tour and Supercheap Auto TCR Australia drivers. And we go again at 1600 local time for our 3rd and final race here at the mountain at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. The start of the race, Norbert Miklis was the man that had the advantage, but Aaron Cameron was very keen to withhold the pressure of the international field. Around the outside, we got Frederick Vervish getting involved as well. Early into 2nd position, that wouldn't last as the race unfolded. A little bit of contact there for Josh Buchan, and then a sideways moment through the opening corner of this lap. Norbert Miklis was keen to find a way past his rivals. He made a good move, and did Tony D'Alberto around the outside. Zach Suter in trouble in the middle of the race. He would visit pit road, a fresh set of boots, and back out on the racetrack again. And then Rob Huff picking his way through all of the dramas to help his championship charge in the Kumho TCR World Tour. If you like your touring car racing and you want more of the same, join us again 1600 local, 6 a.m. CET. Thank you from all of us. Enjoy the rest of your day.
No doubt about it, absolute high drama here on this final Sunday.